So I believe we are waiting for a couple of other people to join in, right? So hi everybody, thanks for taking out time. I'm sure we will kickstart the session as and when we are nearing the kickstart time. So where is everybody joining in from? Do you want to maybe type out your response in the chat section? Let's see how many of you are from either Bangalore or Bombay or Chennai. Let's keep the ball rolling, team. I'm based out of Bangalore, and Bangalore is having some lovely weather here.
Yeah, so my response too. I too am conducting the sessions from Bangalore. So
interesting.
Wanted to check everyone able to hear us. Oh, chat is disabled. Okay.
Chat is disabled. Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
So even in the question answer session, yeah, you can utilize. That would be great if you utilize the Q&A. The one reason could be that there could be a pop-up message, which could. Please do utilize Q&A for any queries that you have or response that you want to do.
Perfect. No, absolutely. Good that we asked this question, right? At least we got to know that this aspect is disabled. So, team, our mode of communication is primarily going to be the Q&A section. So please feel free to type out your response as and when you're having any question. The team is here to help you out with any of the questions that you may have during the course of the time. All right, so we got Amit joining in from the hot and happening Delhi, right? Amit, thanks for joining in. Appreciate it. Thanks for taking our time. Raghu from Bangalore. Thanks, Raghu. Thanks for joining in. Also, let's make it a bit interesting by the time we kickstart, right? So I can see about 15, team members from different organizations have joined in, right? So how has it been so far for you? I mean, have you actually started working on GenAI, component? You're exploring it. How's it been so far for you? Is it the exploratory phase for you? What's happening on your side of the world? Just go ahead and type out your answer. Don't worry. We won't be calling out the organization's name, but we'll just call out your name. We'll keep it confidential. So we just want to understand what's your current situation.
All right, so let's kickstart. Shwetab, I think you got some response from a lot of folks.
Yeah.
All right, so let me just quickly share my screen and start and give a quick introduction of and how exactly we have tailored this. Not really going to be a simple PPT presentation. We are going to have some of the use case scenario that we have handled, some of the cases that we have been dealing for the customer. So that's how exactly we are planning to have the session. So let me quickly share my screen and kickstart it. Yeah, all right, great. So any disruptive technology or events or anything that happens in this world, right? So we do have a pre and post phase being classified as a pre and post phase, right? A typical example over here is the industry revolution. So we know that pre-phase of it, where a mechanical usage or an animal or any of those were being utilized for an agricultural purpose or any of those revolutions, right? The post scenario is industries, machineries, and all those things being utilized for industrial revolution kind. So digital era, exactly the same thing. Paper world completely moved out to a digitized world. That's what the pre and post scenario. And similar wise, you can see an internet revolution happening. A standalone computer server connected, and the post thing would be a completely connected world, right? So that's how exactly an internet revolution. And that's exactly the similar kind of things that's happening today, right? As an AI revolution, today it's being classified as, or it's going to be classified as post-generative world as well as pre-generative world, right? So that's the kind of a deep learning technology change that you're going to see or seeing. So that's the kind of disruption that you're seeing in today's technology changes. So a quick introduction, I'm Shaji Pulukul. I head the data and AI practice with Rapyder Cloud Solutions. As part of this session, I'm welcomed by Shwetab. We already met Shwetab from some of his conversation. So he is a technical business development manager with Amazon. keenly focusing on generative AI kind of business in India region. I'll hand over the session to Shweta, and then we'll take over sessions of what exactly is Rapyder as an organization doing in the generative AI space. I'll hand it over to Shweta. Thanks, Shweta, for being available. I'll stop my screen and hand it over.
Perfect. Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
Shweta, before you hand over, I think a quick poll our marketing would want to have just to see some of the questions that you already asked. We wanted to see in a poll fashion how exactly a generative AI use case is being taken by the organization today, or your organization specifically is focusing on. Would like marketing to just push those poll and then hand over directly to. I think, yeah, the poll is open. Would you think generative AI improves cost efficiency and add value to your business operations? Please do put in your yes or no. We'll just open it for maybe exact 10 to 20 seconds and then hand over to the
Shaji, thank you so much for setting up the stage. That's a very good start. And audience, thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience, responding back to some of the questions where you're joining us from, what your current state is. It's always good to understand a bit more about the current situation and how we can collaborate together, make you successful, AWS in collaboration with the partner, that's Rapyder in this case. So now I'll go off camera so that I can save on some bit of bandwidth, and then we'll move on with the presentation. So good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for taking out time and joining this session. My name is Shwetab, pretty much up on the screen as well. And it's been about 3.5 years that I'm associated with Amazon Web Services. I'm based out of Bangalore, and I work, in very specifically with a set of partners who bring a very unique skill set. In this case, I'm specifically talking about AI/ML, generative AI, which is talk of the town. And I act as a technical business development person looking into India market, and I only work with very hand-picked partner set for India market. Now, moving on to the next slide. Let's see the transition. Okay. So how about going ahead and spending maybe a couple of minutes in understanding where is this all coming from? What exactly is generative AI? I'll go ahead and spend maybe a few minutes in talking about what Gen AI or generative AI is all about. What's the opportunity it's bringing on the table for you? And then I will gradually transition into a section wherein I'm going and looking into the Gen AI application, where all it can be used, so that it's easier for you to relate to whatever we are going there and talking about. And last but not the least, I'm going to finish it up with the moment you go ahead and hear the word generative AI, why is it that Amazon Web Services is the first name that it should be clicking your mind? So I'll go ahead and briefly touch on that topic as well during end of my presentation. Let's move on. All right. So what's the very first thing that's coming to your mind when you see these images? And that's kind of going to tie back to the very first question that I'm trying to address during in this next few slides. What is Gen AI or generative AI? Anybody who wants to just type out the answer, what is the very first thing that's coming to your mind, and how are you going to tie this back to generative AI? It's absolutely open. Please feel free to type out your answer. We will surely look into that. Let's go ahead and look into, as I was asking you, what is generative AI? Now, like all generative AI, here we are going ahead and basically talking about creation of a new content. We are going ahead and looking into creation of new ideas, and that includes your conversations, stories, images, video, and music. And generative AI, how is it powered? So that's a very important aspect to go ahead and look into. So they are typically powered by very large models that are pre-trained on a huge amount of data, and which is commonly referred to FM or foundational models. Now, here is my next question for all of you. What do you think when I say it's a vast amount of data, when I say it's a huge amount of data, which is basically used to train these foundational models? So, how big is that data set? I'm here talking about billions or even trillions of parameters that is used to train these FMs or foundational models. So that's the huge amount of data set we are going ahead and looking into. Now, the recent advancement in machine learning, and that's specifically when I go and look into the invention of transformers based neural network architecture in context to learning and emerging behavior of very large scale model, which has led to rise of these FMs that contain billions of parameters or variable. Why is it that we should be going ahead and looking into that? So from your point of view, if I go ahead and empathize and put myself in your shoe, why is that we should even be considering generative AI? So let's go ahead and look into the market opportunity it brings on the table. uh, all the three renowned, uh, I'll say, some of them are third party, report publishers. Some of them are very well known brands out there wherein they keep on coming up with these predictions about the market, which direction is it going into. And there's one common thread that you will derive from all these four: Bloomberg, Goldman Sachs, IDC, and INC 42. They all are talking on the same lines. They are all talking about how the market is going to grow. They're going ahead and talking about what's the potential it's bringing on the table for you. So that's the trend we are seeing in the market right now. And it's not only AWS that is saying this. It's actually coming in from these trusted, renowned report publishers as well. Now, let's go ahead and look into the some of the common applications, some of the examples wherein you can actually go ahead and wherein you can utilize generative AI, right from text generation, auto generating product description for new product with just an image or any other domain data. So that's text generation. Text summarization is another good one, good use case, wherein you basically go ahead and summarize the report from across your sales team and get a quick headline on how your business is doing. Which direction is it going into? What's the product area wherein you need to apply a bit more attention towards? Image classification, absolutely right in today's time. Go ahead and flag the product brand and category against a million of SKUs. Image generation, go ahead and create absolutely wonderful novel ideas for your apparel product. This is just an example that we're bringing on the table using pre-trained model which are fine-tuned with customer design data. Automotive, communications, consumer goods, energy and utilities, financial services, healthcare, life sciences, technology, media and entertainment. So these are various industries out there wherein generative AI is an absolute right fit. They are going ahead and helping these industries in an absolute flawless manner. I'll go ahead and, I do end up interacting with a whole lot of customers. I end up interacting with a whole lot of partners as well. There's something very interesting that came up, and this is absolute live. I won't really, call out the customer name or the partner name. But the problem situation was whenever these sale happen, like you have, this big billion day or maybe, weekend bonanza sale happening on various e-commerce platform. So there was this customer which was typically taking about 6 month time frame to generate new ideas, new images, even before they launch the weekend bonanza sale or maybe 26th January sale, wherein the Republic Day happens in India market. But with generative AI coming in, they actually reduce that 6 month time cycle to flat a month or maybe 3 weeks time. So that's the add-on benefit it's bringing on the table for any of the end user out there, and that's where a partners like Rapyder play a very very critical and crucial role. Let's look on to the next section. And as I was saying, whenever you are considering generative AI, why is it that AWS, Amazon Web Services, is the very first name that should be coming to mind? I'm going to touch on 5 sweet critical points, which can be a which can actually help you in taking faster decision. So let's look into the flexibility aspect. And what do I mean by flexibility? I'm basically referring to a wide selection of foundational model, which includes text to text, text to image, which is built on top of a whole bunch of FM models, which is available, or foundational model, which is available on our stack. Something like, say, AI 21 Labs or Anthropic, Stability AI, and Amazon. We, from our side, also, we go ahead and bring some foundational models, and which is available for your use, in our stack. Now, second is your secure customization. And what I meant by that is customers, they typically want it to be easy to take the base foundational model and build or bring in some bit of customization on top of it. Since the data customers want to use for customization is incredibly valuable IP, they need it to stay completely protected, secure, and private during that entire process. And they want 100% control on their data that is shared and used to bring in those customization. Our very own service, which is known as Amazon Bedrock, with only a few labeled examples, customers can go ahead and fine tune these models for a particular task without having to annotate large volumes of data. And none of the customer data is used to train the original base model. And since all the data is encrypted, either in transit or at rest, it's not really leaving your VPC as well. And customer can go ahead and trust their data while they go ahead and remain private and confidential. Now, cost, which is an important component. So let's go ahead and look into that. Using Bedrock with only few labeled examples, customers can fine tune the model for a particular task, as I said, without having to annotate large volume of data. Now, if I go ahead and look into the cost aspect, it's basically a very cost performant service that AWS is offering at this point of time, and it is making sure that you are not really going ahead and burning a whole lot of cash. So we do have a lot of options available from our side of the world, and would love to get into one-on-one conversation if cost is turning out to be a decision making step for you, even when you go ahead and look into that aspect. Over a period of 5 years' time, AWS has been investing in our own silicon to push envelope on performance and price performance and demanding workload like machine learning training and inference. And this ability is to maximize the performance and control cost by choosing the optimal ML infrastructure, which is why leading AI startups like Cohere, Anthropic, Grammarly, Runway ML, AI 21 Labs, Stability AI, and Hugging Face, they all run on AWS. Now, fourth is the customers want ease of use. They want to quickly integrate and deploy foundational model into their application, and workloads are running on AWS using familiar controls and integration with AWS's depth and breadth of capabilities, and services using Amazon SageMaker and Amazon S3. Using AWS generative AI capabilities instead of going ahead and sending your data to the model, what we stress on is bring the model to your data. Now, the fifth and the last one is with generative AI, built-in service such as Amazon Code Whisperer and AI Coding Companion can go ahead and help you improve productivity. Users will be able to have more natural and seamless interaction with application and systems. And you can actually go ahead and build powerful application like Code Whisperer is actually using Code Whisperer as it is going ahead and acting as a transformative service for developers and all our customers. We have a lot more coming from in this space. Stay tuned. AWS reInvent is down the corner, so expect some exciting and major announcements coming in. It's about 20 days down the line, happening in Las Vegas. If anyone is attending, please do not stop yourself from attending these GenAI sessions. With that, I would like to hand it over to Shaji, and I'll also go ahead and take a pause if in case there is any question. I'll be happy to take that up right away.
All right. So how familiar are you with the technical aspects of generative AI, such as GAN, generative adversarial network, or LSTM, short-term memory networks? That's a question. All right, great. I'm just going to share my screen and take it forward from what exactly Rapyder as a business, how are we treating generative AI is something which I would like to present now and take it forward. So let me just put an agenda how exactly I'm planning this. Slide share. Share my screen and then share. A quick confirmation if you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
All up.
Thank you. So the way we are going to do it, I have around 5 to 6 slides, and this session is going to be more focused on the demos, right? So what all are the use cases that we have catered for the customer? So there are active conversation close to 10 to 15 customer. So the way we run the business, we showcase, okay, these are the capability or these are the scenarios that you can run in AWS environment and GenAI, and we provide those prototype for the customer. And based on the certain customer's interest, we are engaging business with them. And that's exactly what I'm going to showcase it to you as well today. So this session may be close to 15 to 20 minutes. First 5 to 6 minutes is what I'm going to spend time on the slides, and the rest everything is going to be a direct demo or a recording sessions for us. Hope you all are in sync for that. Okay. Rapyder as a business, what is our core agenda? So started in 2016. We started as a core DevOps migration kind of a skill set. I mean, that's where our technology enablement or the skill set came in. Past 3 years exactly is for slightly more than 3 years is what we have. Our area of focus has moved on from a core migration partner to a data and AI, right? So I had a data and AI service. I think I've given my introduction. So when I say data and AI, the other practice that rolls up to me is IoT, data engineering, machine learning, and we do have a separate team which is involved for generative AI research, right? So some of them are there available over here as a panelist. In case if you have very core technical questions, feel free to have those. There are panelists available who is Akshay as well as Kumar Shanu, who's our data scientist, available on this call for responding to your questions. So feel free, in case if you have any core technical questions that you have, feel free to have those posted in the chat window. Yeah. What capabilities AWS coverage? In a very nutshell, so we have 4 competencies and close to 15 service deliveries. So some of you, in case if you are not aware of what exactly that means, AWS do a thorough review. Any implementation that we do on the customer account, are we catering of every single best practice that's been laid out by Amazon or AWS? Those are the kind of tick marks. It takes us for each individual service delivery, it takes us close to 2 to 3 months to get this accreditation for us, right? So that's how exactly it runs. And a competency is nothing but run by an external agency, and then they approve it, telling that, okay, Rapyder has this capability. I'm just going to give them this accreditation stating that going forward they can cater and they have this exact capability available. And that's exactly the accreditation that you can see over here. Okay, moving forward, I mean, since Shweta has covered a lot more detail, what is generative AI and what is AWS stake on it, I'm not covering that part, benefit of the time. And I'm pretty much sure most of you might be more interested in looking into the a demo rather than a text-based content, right? So what is generative AI? I'm just going to close the question answer window. What is generative AI versus the traditional AI? One nutshell. So traditional AI, what we used to do was we need to have a huge amount of data. I train those data. Then I provide it for my validation, and then I deploy in my production environment, right? So that's exactly the kind of life cycle that you adopt in a traditional AI world. Contrary to generative AI, it's how well you write your prompt, right? How freely, or what is the kind of information that you're going to provide it, and exactly you're going to get a response back from the system, right? That's a nutshell or a layman terminology which I want to give for a generative AI. As you all know, there are a lot more happening behind the scene, which is not our focus area for today. Yeah. So as far as our business is concerned, what all are we doing as a Rapyder? Image generation is some kind of solution that we're providing to the customer. Text generation, as you know, this is a core focus, generative AI, starting from multiple different models. Text generation was the key where it started, and slowly it moved on to audio generation as well as data augmentation. I am just going to... All right. I'm just going to skip this as well so that we have enough information available over here during my... yeah. So what I wanted to say over here is what exactly is the use case that we are solving for a customer. The first one is medical insights extractor. Now, what exactly is a medical insight extractor? Let me just give you a scenario. We have a data or a corpus available for close to 3 to 4 years of a customer or a patient data. Now, the scenario goes like this, right? You're walking to a doctor asks for you what exactly is the symptoms. You explain the symptoms, doctor take a note of it. Then there is a prescription being, he does his diagnosis, that also is being noted, and then he gives his prescription, right? So what exactly is the medicine appropriate for it? So these information are captured. Close to 2 to 3 years of information are available with a diagnostic center or a hospital. Now, a new doctor coming in wanted to find out if a new symptom or similar in nature comes up, how well can we respond back to that patient looking into the existing database of us, right? So is there a prior scenario of exactly similar kind of a symptom that happened? And what was the diagnosis being made in the past, and how exactly, what was the prescription that made in the past? So that's exactly one of the a tool that's been created, which I'll be showcasing you in our demo. So this was very, very focused on the healthcare industry, which can be utilized for any other domain as well. But this we have provided for a healthcare-based customer of ours. Next one is multilingual automated voice assistants. Now, let me just tell you what exactly the scenario over here. Multiple different customer for us on the same. There are and a huge demand for the solution as well. First and foremost, let me just give you an insights on how exactly even, so it's a slightly a non-referential customer. So not the customer scenario. I just wanted to say a similar kind of scenarios for you. Today, you type in Amazon and you say, I need a 8 GB RAM laptop with a low cost, right? That's what I'm going to type in. But now scenario is if Amazon wanted to spread their wing to an extreme rural area, right? There may not be a scenario where people in the rural area may be able to, some of the customer whom they're targeting may not be able to type in English. What they want to enable this feature is, I'm going to switch on this mic and I'm going to speak out in my mother tongue or what is the native language or a local language, saying, 8 GB ka laptop sabse kam daam wala, right? So this is the kind of, sorry for my bad Hindi, right? So this is the kind of conversation that you want to make. The system should understand what is the need of the customer. Behind the scene, it's going to convert back into a SQL query, because that's how exactly you provide your solution, right? And it's going to fetch the data and it's going to come back and showcase the results for you, right? So that's the multilingual automated voice assistant. Similar kind of solution we have provided even for a call center scenario. Now, scenario goes like this. You have a call center agent, which is like a pan-India scenario. So the solution that we are given for is one of the biggest enterprise customer, who is basically an NGO as well, right? So now their scenario is, the scenario or their business is today women empowerment in a rural area. So the agents across India, so it could be in Punjabi, it could be in Bengali, it could be in Kannada or Telugu or any of those languages. They're going to reach out to a rural a woman who's going to be, or a girl who's just finished off her college. They're going to ask, how exactly did you finish off your college? Are you planning for any future jobs, or do you want to have any post graduation is your plan? So those informations are being captured and as a voice system, right? Now, as a quality assurance team, there could be, since it's a pan India and it's a big business, there could be more than 1,000 to 6,000 calls that they land on every single day. A quality assurance team to go through this entire 6 minutes of conversation, it will be a Herculean task for our quality assurance team. Now, the solution that we have provided is any language that we've spoken come as a voice file will get converted into a text format in English. There will be a summarization of that particular text format. And then out of which there will be a key information what has been asked for, right? So when I say key information, the agents are given a pre-questionnaire, right? So 5 questions that an agent is supposed to ask, mandatory questions. In case he missed any question, or if he adds any other question than this 5, all those things will be extracted and given as a report. So as a quality assurance team, instead of me spending close to 10 minutes looking into each video, it's just going to be 30 seconds. A quality lead can go, okay, this is exactly what happened during the conversation. And that's the reason a customer was not happy with that. Even that sentiment is being captured over here. And that's exactly the multilingual solution. So this is also something which I'm going to demo to you. Not the entire system, but in a very, very short form is what we will be demoing this. Right. Next one is portfolio analyzer. So today what happens is some of these are a pure chat kind of a chatbot kind of a solution that you're seeing. And now a question may rise from some of you guys. How is it being different from a traditional chatbot? I've been using chatbot for the past 10 years. So what's the differentiator? So traditional chatbot is completely a dialogue-based approach, right? So that's how exactly you do it. For example, you will be asked, what loan are you interested for a banking scenario? And I say 1, 2, 3, 4 options are given to you. You click on housing loan, which is second option. And then based on housing loan, we'll get another drill down option. So for you to get your actual response, you may have to traverse through all this multiple different questionnaire or a hierarchy or trees. And that's how exactly you're going to derive your answers. Whereas the approach, a generative AI-based approach, the benefit of over here is freedom of a human being to have free text in place, right? So I'm going to just type in, for me to apply for a loan, can you please explain what needs to be done, right? So that's how exactly a human wanted to have that interaction between a system as well as a solution that's been provided, and it's going to immediately give you a response back. So this is a solution that we are providing for multiple different customers, completely a non-referential customer, some of the big financial sectors in India. That's our market over here. Okay. Next one, English as a query language. I spoke about this in a very brief manner. One customer of us, their need was, I wanted to have my data analytics team very, very lean team. They're pretty much a startup. I do not have, or today when I start my business, I don't want to have a 10-member data analytics team. I want to run my show with 1 or 2 guys, right? So what kind of help can I can get from you? So the response for that is, this customer is going to ask questions like, what is going to be my month-on-month sales in the year 2001 for a specific product like a yarn or some of the product, right? This is the English text that's going to be fed into the system. Behind the scene, our generative AI is going to understand what exactly is the question, entity is being recognized, go to the database, convert that into a SQL query, and then give you a response back. That's exactly the solution. So we are not saying a data analyst's job is in trouble. No, that's exactly not the statement over here. But some of those basic queries, right? So just scenario over here, the queries that got generated was more than 1.5 pages, right? So that complex queries, just with the plain English language, is what it can generate and then give a response back to you, right? So that's one of the service or solution that we have provided for a retail customer. I don't think I have a demo on that. The next one is Smart Email Express. Now, what exactly is happening over here is a travel industry, right? So scenario over here is maybe someone from Rapyder. Think about, I'm just cooking about an example over here, right? So someone from Rapyder wanted to travel from Bangalore to Delhi, right? So we are in partnership maybe with Thomas Cook, right? So now what we want to do is I'm going to send an email to Thomas Cook stating that, hi, I want to travel from Bangalore to Delhi on 25th November at 10 a.m. Can you please book a ticket for me, right? Now, the solution this Thomas Cook want is I wanted without a human intervention, I should be able to understand Shaji's need to travel is on 25th and this particular time. And the time for it is 10 a.m. And then what all other flights available on that time. So system is going to extract all this information automatically, make a call to maybe Make My Trip or any other of those API calls will be made. And it's going to list down, okay, these are the flights available for you. And it's going to give you a response. And that's exactly a complete automated. What is the benefit over here? Immediate response for you. There is no human intervention over here. There is no human prone error because many of this you might have experienced with the travel vendors, right? So they may goof up in terms of the timing, goof up in terms of the date and all those things. That can be completely avoided. And instead of you having a 10-member team, you can run your show with 2 or 3-member team over here with a very, very less human intervention, and you can run your show much more effectively. I mean, that's exactly the kind of scenarios I wanted to cover during because of the time constraint as well. I think I will, So this is how exactly we have done the solutions. I don't want to get into the architecture and things like that. I directly will get onto a demo so that you have any questions. I'll be more than happy. I'll give a pause over here for a minute. Just try and stop sharing before we move on to the demo. And I am not sure if there is any questions.
No, Shaji, there's no question coming in as of now.
Okay.
But
sure.
Just everybody on the call, right? So our mode of communication, please feel free to type out your question in the Q&A chat box. So please feel free to let us know what your doubts are, what your questions are. We'll pick it up. Okay.
Okay, since no questions, before I start with my demo, maybe let's take up a next poll and see who's active. Yeah, I see. Sachin, there's a question. How marketing and communication can benefit from generative AI? Yes. All right, I think I hear Suraj having a question. Does it need a lot of data starting generative AI based analysis? Not really. That's the beauty of it, right? So some of you would have utilized some of the generative AI based system today. It does not need a lot data for you. So there are places where you can start building. So as I said, there is in my initial slide, there is no training that you're actually doing for generative AI kind of a technology in place. So one line answer for it is no.
Shaji, I can actually take a stab at the very first question that Sachin has asked. So how marketing and communication can benefit from GenAI? So Sachin, thanks for bringing this up, right? So that's a good one. So in fact, I did call out one example of that e-commerce company wherein they were taking about 6-month time frame to come up with an image for the print ad, because you have something like, say, weekend bonanza sale or 26th January long weekend sale coming up 6 months down, right? So now they have actually reduced that entire 6-month time frame to just 1 month or maybe 3 weeks. So that's one example. The second one is if you're going ahead and looking at very, very personalized campaign. So that's where, again, GenAI can go ahead and help you quite a lot. You're going ahead and looking at a very targeted campaign. You're going ahead and looking at something like, say, context, making context out of a bigger brand guideline. So you go ahead and put in all the parameters, you go ahead and put in what kind of result you want depending on the product, what kind of age group you're targeting, and it will throw up a whole bunch of results around it. So these are certain things which are coming immediately on top of my mind, but happy to get into and understand a bit more about your situation, your organization, and then maybe we can customize the entire approach here.
All right. The scenario which I'm going to talk about over here is one of the use case for us. This was basically for a healthcare or maybe an animal has been breed sort of a organization. So just like a human being has a thumbprint as a unique identifier for identifying every single individual, a cattle has something similar, which is going to be a nose print, right? Or a muscles of an animal, a photo is being picked up. That is a unique identifier, which is actually a learning for us when we have been dealing with these customers, right? So now the scenario for us, or the use case over here is, think about it. I'm a farmer, right? So in 2000, I sell my cattle to an next person in 2001, or I mean 2021. Now what happens is, what is the value of the cattle? Did it have any kind of a disease, right? How many vaccination was being performed for it? All those informations are missing, and because of which the value of the cattle may not be determined. So this provider, they wanted to finalize on a system in place where every single cattle information has been fed and it's been provided by a unique assistant. Now, how do we do that? You have to have a facial recognition based on that unique identifier, just like the thumbprint that we have. So a picture of this cattle is being picked up, and then I'm going to go and search it in the database and see whether that cattle information is available in this database. In case if it's available, it's going to fetch the entire information and then give it to you, stating that, okay, this has gone under vaccination 2 years back, and this had a disease, and this is the current market value of this particular cattle, and today you may fetch, this is the current price that you can fetch for it, right? So then that's going to change, revolutionize a kind of a farmer industry that can happen. And in fact, it's a completely an unregularized sector which can have such kind of an information-based system that you can create for them. So that is how they approached us, and there's a solution that we provided. So the technology over here, what we're trying to focus is using GenAI. It's just giving a comparison of two pictures, right? And which are picture perfect comparison. And then you can find out, in case if that cattle doesn't exist, I'm just going to feed that information into and create an SSN number base for the cattle. I mean, that's how exactly it is, right? This can be utilized for a KYC purpose or any other purpose. This technology can be utilized. So let me just share this. And also I need a quick confirmation if the audio is available for you folks. Let me just play it. I'll just pause over here. Is this audio
Yes.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, perfect. Let me run it.
A leading social enterprise works with cattle owners supporting in animal well-being, resulting in increased dairy performance and enhanced livelihood in rural areas. Social enterprise already has 1 million images of cattle in the system, and they constantly upload the images on daily basis through the field agents, and they continue to record new entries with images each time they visit the farmers, creating duplication in animal identification, traceability, records on breeding, productivity, treatment, and vaccination, leading to spread of diseases. The key objective was to create unique identification of cattle and the associated data relating to records on breeding, productivity, treatment, and vaccination, etc. Rapyder had to pick a cattle picture to compare with 1 million cattle images in system. The solution will help identify and group all similar images and their data to register a unique cattle profile. If the cattle image doesn't match with images in the system, then a new unique record will be created. Cattle selling market is an unorganized business, and there is a system to capture the information, but it is not structured well. With AI model, detecting the cattle through image processing, we will identify the cattle medical history, reducing the risk of unhealthy animal, resulting in increased dairy productivity and happy living. Please talk to our experts to find solutions for your business problems.
All right. So that was one scenario. So next one, I wanted to just showcase to you on a multilingual which I already spoke about. Let me just quickly run through that. Thanks for our marketing folks, Axel, for generating that complete again. So this one is like I'm just going to pause it and then walk you through. Now, so this is an API-based solution that we have provided to a customer. So just for our demo purpose, we have made a sample UI, right? So that's not what we normally provide. So this is just for a demonstration purpose is what we have given this UI. Now, the scenario over here is, let me just showcase that. Let me see if you can hear this volume too. That's a call recording. So the scenario, what we are covering over here is, hope you remember the case, what we spoke about, an agent and a customer conversation, which will be in a different language. And that's been extracted. And then that analysis has been performed over here. That's the scenario for you. So yeah, so the entire conversation happened in Hindi, and then that's transformation.
हेलो हाँ ट्रू बाजार में कॉल किया मैं आपको कैसे हेल्प कर सकता हूँ
सॉरी हाँ मैं बताता हूँ तो बेसिकली मैंने कुछ दिन पहले एक ऑर्डर किया था
Yeah, so we have cut short this conversation, and the entire conversation was in Hindi, and now that entire conversation has been picked up, and it's listed exactly the entire conversation. Hello, what is your war? I mean, all this information came in, and I'm just going to give that's next one is the entire call summary. So out of this entire conversation, we're just going to extract the key conversation happened, and that's the key conversation, right? The call summary in a bulleted wise, so that a quality assurance lead need not go through this entire conversation, but he can understand from this was the core crux of the conversation. And out of which, what is the call analysis, or how do I need to interpret this entire call is what you can see from a call analysis. That means it says clearly, based on my analysis, the agent did not ask all of the required questions during the call. Specifically, the agent did not ask for a customer's full name and customer's ID. So these were the mandatory questions that a customer was or an agent was supposed to ask. And the solution is going to list it down for you. What all he did not ask, or what are the additional questions he mentioned also can be captured here completely. And it's a multilingual solution for you, which has been designed for an Indian market. Yeah. Image search, portfolio analyzer. Okay, let me just put the portfolio analyzer real quick. IDP extractor, similar kind of solution, a slightly more complex solution. What exactly we are trying to do over here is, let me just back through so that we don't spend too much time over here. Just trying to. I think I may have to run it through completely. So basically, it's nothing but a solution where you will have your image. That particular image is being extracted and it's being given a complete solution for you. That's exactly what the solution
Hello
is.
everyone. So today we will be talking about
So let me just try to see if I can track it slightly more.
So there is a simple UI for the demo purpose. We have created this.
I'll just show you some small scenario. That's where you can see an invoice or a bill for you will be extracted, and a complete information has been extracted over here. So which can be utilized any IDP-based solutions, right? Intelligent document processing solution. So this entire information can be extracted, and we can handle or provide this as a JSON format for a downstream application, and you can incorporate in your existing solution. And that's exactly what this solution is all about. So for the benefit of time, I'm just going to, and you can see from the existing multiple different images are available, which can be processed. And pause over here. I'm going to share the next one, which is portfolio analysis. So this is meant for your fund manager or someone who has a lot of information available. you can see the kind of tool that's been developed. So it's going to ask questions like, sorry, may I have to just, sorry, you may be able to ask questions like, what is your portfolio and how much, which mutual fund are for the long-term wealth creation? So these are the kind of questions that you can ask, and you can get a response back from the system, right? So that's what it's all about. That's going to be a voice search. I just stop this with finalize with a voice search. Now, voice search scenario, which I already spoke about, Amazon kind of market wanted to bring into a rural India or rural segment. And then what they want to do is, instead of having a text-based chat, they wanted to have a voice-based system. And that's exactly what you can see over here. Let me just quickly share that information, share sound, and share. Close to 160 languages being currently supported. So you can see, for our demo purpose, we utilize Hindi, and then we are asking for a specific laptop. And then the system will understand this entity, convert that into a corresponding SQL query, and then give you a result back.
मुझे एप्पल का मोबाइल दिखाओ.
Yeah, I mean, those of you who didn't hear it, the question was, "Mujhe Apple ka mobile dikhao." That's what I think. Yeah, that's what, and it is being translated. Show me Apple's mobile. So, and that's exactly what, right? So that's, and these can be incorporated. So we are doing this for a retail organization or an enterprise, basically. So the need for them is sabse kam daam wala chawal, right? So these are the kind of questions a customer can ask, and they wanted to retrieve back those information and then give a solution back. So that is how the solution is going to be created. I'll pause over here. And I think that's really what I have in terms of demo, considering the time as well. Like, I think 4 minutes overshoot. I'm just going to share my final slide over here so that any questions, more than happy, please feel free to have it. I'm just going to share my slide once again. So we will be more than happy to interact with you in case if you think some of these scenarios you wanted to have explore your existing workload. We'll be more than happy to connect with you. Please do scan this QR scan code, and then we will take your information. Someone from the sales is going to reach out to you, and then we should be able to have conversation on how exactly we can help for your business, how generative AI can really make a change for you. So we would be even happy to have a free POC for you to start with. And then if you think that's really lucrative enough for you to enter in the market, you can expand that product. And if you think that's a business ROI will be met based on the innovation that's happening in this world, we would be more than happy to handhold you and take to the next level. So please do scan and fill in those information so that we have your information available, and then we can have this free POC. We can have this. I mean, we will have the conversation on what level of effort is required for the same thing, and then we should be able to do it for you. That's really what I had. Really thanking you all for your patience and being available over here. Let me just share my screen.
Shaji, sorry to interrupt. We can run the last set of polls.
Please go ahead and run the last poll. Yeah, please go ahead. So maybe I'll hand it over to Shweta as well in case we have any closing note, and then we should be able to wrap up. Any feedback, any information that you want to share on, that'd be absolutely great.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for the technical glitch. It always happens. Okay, so I was saying, thank you so much for taking out time, and thank you, Shaji, for walking everybody through what all capability you bring on table in this space. Talk of the town, generative AI. We would be happy to collaborate with you. Love to help you solve your problem. Reach out to Shaji, Team Rapyder, or myself. I'll be happy to assist you, guide you in every possible way.
Thanks, everyone. It was a pleasure hosting this session for you folks. We'll be more than happy to have this conversation and take it forward for the next level.